now tuned in to DAR Sports Media, and it's a big college football week. Week 1 is finally here. We had a blast with week 0. As you all saw, the first DAR Sports parlay ticket cashed last week as we gave you guys Georgia Tech money line plus underdog line on Nevada plus underdog line on, what was the third? New Mexico. All of those worked out. That ticket cashed out. Good times. What we will try to provide to you here on the College Football Show. Try to be a little bit different than other college football shows. We'll cover the top storylines and top games, but also we'll dip into the gambling bag a little bit because me personally, college football is the one I make most money off of gambling. And you got to share that wealth. So, big week in store. Week 1 is finally here. A bunch of games that we're looking forward to. I got my man Tay, Tay's Takes LLC. We got our guy Lee Harvey on here with us. Tay, what game is your number 1 most anticipated for this weekend?
Oh, it got to be Georgia Clemson. I mean, rank versus rank. It has to be. And Clemson's been talking a lot. They've been saying, they're not worried. They're acting like they're just another team, right? Like Georgia isn't the number 1 team right now. So I want to see if they can back it up. It might not go well. That would be funny to see, but that's definitely, the most anticipated game. And it's at 12 o'clock. You normally don't get good 12 o'clock games,
Yep.
So this is a good one.
I think you will a little more going into the future because the Big Ten is so fucking loaded now. You're bound to get, solid matchups for the big noon kickoff regularly. But so Clemson's talking all crazy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us just, Clemson gonna Clemson. I think we're taking pretty unserious. But Georgia is a 14-point favorite. How do you feel about that?
That sounds about right. It could be they could win by 14. I think they're gonna win by a little more.
I think they're gonna win by more. Me too.
Yeah, maybe I can see 21, 24, something like that. Yeah, I think they'll clear that 14 points for sure. Yeah, I got Georgia in that.
Lee Harvey, your number 1 most anticipated game for week 1.
LSU USC.
All right. What do we think about that one?
Yeah, because it's a game of 2 teams that are moving on from Heisman winning quarterbacks. LSU moving on from Jayden Daniels and USC moving on from Caleb Williams. And even though they had explosive offenses, now they're moving into a new era. And I'm just looking forward to see whether it's either Garrett Nussmeier or Miller Moss, who's going to make that first big statement of the new season.
Mac Miller Moss. They got LSU as 4-point favorites. Personally, I think that's a little bit low. What do you think? What's your prediction for spread, a winner, all that?
That may be giving LSU a tad bit too much credit because since Brian Kelly's,
tell us why. Okay.
Honestly, because since Brian Kelly's been the coach, LSU's defense hasn't been as dominant as in years past. And we know how no matter who the quarterback is, as long as Lincoln Riley's the coach, the quarterback
is going to do numbers.
The guy's going to put up big numbers. So it could either be even, or I could easily see USC winning this game.
Tay, what USC win possibly? Tay, what are your thoughts on LSU USC?
That's gonna be a great game.
I'm in the stream.
I'm gonna go with USC in that. I like Miller Moss. I liked him in high school, and his weapons. He got Zachariah Branch, one of the fastest players in college football. I'm a big fan. He should be great in the NFL. Coming soon. But yeah, I just like their weapons. I like USC weaponry.
Wow.
I would take USC outright. I think LSU is going to be a good team. They got Harold Perkins Jr. on defense. You know, that's something to think about. But just overall, I think USC gets the job done. I don't know if they'll be in going to the playoff or anything like that, but they'll be a good team. Like 9-4 could be something like, you know, something realistic for them. I think they can definitely win this game. So yeah, I would go with USC.
So would you go USC money line or
Yeah.
would you be doing USC plus 5.5?
USC money line, definitely.
Oh wow, okay, feeling that fucking good about it. Okay. We will see. We will follow up just like we did win or lose. I am shocked that nobody picked this one. I think you guys know where I'm going.
Notre Dame?
No, shut up.
Colorado.
Really?
Colorado, North Dakota State.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited about that. Just because this is going to be a fucking shit show. If North Dakota State comes in here and pulls this off. This is going to be fucking something. They got Colorado favored by 10 in this game at home against perennial Division II powerhouse, North Dakota State. What do we think there's an upset? Do we think there's a hurricane of shit coming down? Or do we just like the spread? Or do you like them to pull off an ass whooping? Tay, thoughts?
I think Colorado, they'll probably win by like maybe 2 times. They win by 13. I wouldn't be surprised. I got Colorado winning. You know, I think they got a lot to prove. They feel like they have a lot to prove. They got a chip on their shoulder. Yeah, I would definitely pick Colorado in this. I'll take the spread for Colorado. Yeah, I just think they've improved from last year. I think like they're not going to be the same team as last year. They did really good in the transfer portal. They recruited well, so for the second straight year, you know, and it's only up from here. So yeah, they'll beat North Dakota State. But it's not going to be some crazy blow. I'm not going to say that. But they'll definitely take care of business, and they're at home as well. You know, they'll have rappers at the game or something. But yeah, I will go with Colorado.
It'll be interesting to see who is at the game, right? Because that was back when it was you know, I'm sure True could share some commentary on these types of things, but you know, the lack of people willing to show up now when things weren't so nice later on in the season, and now they're a little bit under siege. And additionally, I wonder if Dion changes his approach when it comes to that type of thing, because of how fucking silly it ended up looking last year. All right, Harvey, are you forecasting? Do we have a shit show on the way here? Is North Dakota State going to make this a game? Is Colorado going to pull off this 10 points? What are we looking at?
There could be a shit show, but I could also see North Dakota State making this a game. Colorado at -10. That sounds about right. I can even see this game coming down to single digits. Like North Dakota, they may battle for 3.5 quarters, and Colorado pulls away, or either North Dakota State finds a way to win. All things are possible, in my opinion.
You just don't know what the old Dion's going to serve up.
No,
another interesting one.
Not with this team.
Another interesting one to this pod is this Notre Dame Texas A&M matchup. Notre Dame, number 7 ranked, going into the number 20 ranked, but Texas A&M is favored by 3. So 3 points home field advantage. I guess the odds makers are telling us basically Notre Dame and Texas A&M are equal, which I don't think. Certainly, one member of this podcast definitely doesn't think that. So what do we got here? We got old Riley Leonard leading Notre Dame into into Texas A&M to pull off what is technically an upset, I guess. That is wild.
Yeah, I'm surprised, I guess, because they feel like Kyle Field is one of the best, one of the hardest to play in, I guess. But I don't know. I think Notre Dame's too good. Like Notre Dame to me is like a locked in playoff team. They got the toughest conference ever, man. They got a lot of teams in their conference, So I don't know. I think Notre Dame's gonna be good. I like they did really good in the transfer portal. They got Riley Leonard. How can you not like Riley Leonard? They got returning running back Jeremiah Love. He was the backup last year, of course. They lost Aldrick Estime to the NFL, I think to the Broncos to be exact. But yeah, they just got a lot of returning guys. They got the college interception leader Xavier Watts. I was talking about a few episodes ago, who I think is the best defender in the nation. Like this defense is gonna be flying around. They improved that quarterback. They have good receivers. They just have everything they need. And I don't know. I don't think Texas A&M is good enough. I think Texas A&M is a good team, but I don't think they're good. They're not on Notre Dame's level. Like they're in. I think Notre Dame is in another tier, and it'll be tough for them. I got Notre Dame by a touchdown.
Lee, what's your take on that game?
Yeah, I don't know why A&M's favored, even though they got a new head coach coming in. But I say the Irish wins. Connor Wegman is going to make some plays, but I still see Notre Dame winning by at least 7.
I like it. Not too much else in the way of a lot of room, a lot of interesting spreads going on. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Oh my goodness gracious. We got Oklahoma favored by 43 over Temple.
Ooh.
I don't know about that one, man. 43 against another D1 team? I know that Temple, the program has seen better days, but 43. We discussed that. I actually discussed that a lot on the United Football Media, their YouTube page, show that'll come up later on this week. When you take a spread like 43 points, you're expecting everything to go perfectly. And you're expecting it to go perfectly in the first week that these guys have played real football. All it takes is 2 bad drives by Oklahoma and 1 decent drive by Temple, and it's not fucking happening. It doesn't have the numbers to happen. So I don't know. Tay, you're over there trying not to fucking laugh. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna have to pull a Tay on you. You need to respect them. You need to stop. You need to respect them.
I don't know, man. I like to look at what they did last year. They suck. They're on that level. Temple sucks. I don't know about
They're
they
on that
might
level.
lose by 45. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, you are right. It is tough. Like I would stay away from that. That's a little too high for me too. I do get that. But they were getting blown out a lot last year. And they didn't play anyone like Oklahoma though. Like the best team they played was like Miami. They lost by 30 something. But I don't know. It just depends on how good you think Oklahoma is. I'm not so sure about Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So yeah, I wouldn't take that. That's a lot of points. That's definitely a lot of points. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna tease up to 45 and take fucking Temple. That's what I'm gonna do.
I wouldn't take it the other way around. That's a lot of points. Like you said, everything does have to go right. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, Temple isn't. They're not. It's not going to be a close game. I'll 100% guarantee that.
Yeah,
like it'll be 30 for sure. But I don't know. After that, I don't know. The last 2 touchdowns might get a little tough. But yeah. You could take that. You could take Temple to cover that. Honestly, that's a lot of points.
Axe just joined us. we already got through because we were picking our top game for the week, and I was surprised. I was the one who picked. What's your okay? So let's see. Blind test. Maybe you'll join me. What is your top game of the week that you're most interested in coming up, Axe?
Kind of intrigued by Miami and Florida.
Well, that was the last one we were going to talk about anyway. So go ahead. Yep.
Want to see how Cam Ward does in Miami for sure.
There's a lot of hype for Cam Ward in Miami, man.
Want to see if Florida bounces back. They've been real mediocre the past few years.
That's tough, man. Florida is Miami is a 2.5 point favorite at the Swamp, man. That's a say it ain't so type situation right there for Florida. But hey,
first time they're playing in a while too.
You know, Florida has the toughest schedule in the nation.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Neither their 12 opponents are ranked.
Yeah, they're gonna have a new coach next year. I think they also play the number 4, number 5, and number 6 team in the original rankings.
And number 1.
And number 1.
I look at the schedule too. Like while I look at the schedule, I'm gonna just say briefly, very briefly, as a Florida State fan, I was wrong. The past 2 games.
Hey,
atonement.
When I was watching in the second quarter, I texted Tay. He can vouch for this. I was like, man, we're an 8-win team, dog. Like,
it's good you bring that up because that was one of the ones we wanted to discuss up next. Florida State is a 16-point favorite over BC on Monday night. I don't know about that. I do not know about
BC
that.
BC got that mobile quarterback. I'm nervous. That dude from last year, he gave us some work last year, bro. Like, we barely beat them last year. We beat them by like 3 points, I think. 2 or 3 points.
16 is a lot. I know. Home opener, they're going to be pissed. I get it, but like 16 is a lot, especially if things start to go wrong.
I definitely want to see. Yeah. He was killing us last year, bro.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
Quarterback. He's pretty good, low key. Definitely North Dakota State and Colorado for sure. That's
okay. There we go. I was going to bring that up. I was the only one who brought that up. The line is out. Colorado 10-point favorites. Yeah, look at that look on his face. How do we feel about that? 10-point favorites. Show me the money.
From what I've been reading, apparently North Dakota State's not what they used to be in the Carson Wentz years. That's what
they're still a playoff team. They're not quite the powerhouse that they were, true, but they're still a playoff team. There's a reason this line is only 10 points. I would say that.
Yeah, but I'm intrigued to see how Warren Sapp does with the defense. Because the defense was real problematic. They was blowing a lot of leads last year. Yeah. So I want to see like how his influence. He's on the staff, so I'm intrigued to see that. In all honesty, their defense need help. Because Charles Kelly, he's cheeks as a defense coordinator. I know as a Florida State fan, like watch Lamar put up 70+ on our scout. Man, don't get me started on Charles Kelly. Oh man, you seen it against Stanford? They blew a 30-point lead in the half. Like man, he got to tighten up, but he gonna lose his job to Warren Sapp.
So what do you think? 10-point win, Colorado, or what would you be doing in that?
I'm gonna say yeah, but not comfortably. I won't be surprised if North Dakota State pulls off the upset. But I'm gonna say yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna have a fucking situation on our hands next week if they don't. Another one that was interesting that we wanted to tap out here. Tay's favorite college football team this year, Oklahoma State. Only 9.5-point favorites at home against Division II national champion South Dakota State. What do we think about that? You know, Tay's had a lot to say about the quarterback.
Yeah, that bum.
I mean, that's what I'm saying though. You got kind of, in your opinion, a bum quarterback against the national champions on the Division II level. Vegas kind of knows that this isn't a walkover type game. Is that going to be the difference? Are you that bold that you're going to go South Dakota State?
They'll be able to run the ball. They'll be able to run the ball. That's the thing. Like I think the trenches, like in the trenches, Oklahoma State, they'll win that matchup. So they'll be able to run the ball just fine. But if they do go down and it's time to throw the ball, yeah, it's over. There's we have no chance. But I think they'll be able to run the ball just fine. So that'll keep them afloat. That'll make them win pretty much. Their run game will be just fine.
Actually, look, you have thoughts.
Yeah, I think Mike Gundy and his mullet is going to pull out a double-digit win against South Dakota State. I don't really envision.
Okay, shutting Tay up.
Yeah, I don't envision
them put on a statement. Yeah. What do you think there, Lee?
If they have learned anything from a year ago, getting blown out by like 26, I forgot who they played against last year. I think it was Alabama State, something like that. If they have learned anything from a year ago, they take care of business right away in Saturday's opener.
We covered it. What's up? We covered it right before you jumped on, Axe. What do you think of number 7 Notre Dame being an underdog at number 20 Texas A&M? There are 3. Texas A&M is favored by 3 in that game.
Well, as far as Texas A&M, they're always consistently hyped in the preseason.
Yeah.
And once you get past like 7 games, they're usually either in the low 20s or out of the rankings. It's been that way for about 5 years. I envision Notre Dame winning this game by double digits. Like I said, I'm high on Riley Leonard. I believe he'll play well in Notre Dame. I believe in their run game as well. They've been a high-quality team this year, so I'm expecting more of the same from them. Did we cover the Georgia-Clemson game?
Yeah, a little bit, but do you have thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm
expecting Georgia to win by double digits.
Yeah, they're we were talking about they're 14-point favorites. Do you think that's what's going to happen?
Yes, 1,000%. Like Kirby Smart always has them boys prepared. They're gonna come out and make a statement, dominate. Like we'll see what Clemson does. Dabo's lost his fastball the past few years. Like this ain't the Trevor Lawrence years anymore. So we'll see. I got Georgia.
Well, that's what's standing out to us this week here on DAR Sports Media College Football Show. Some spicy possible betting options in there for you. I think my favorite is teasing Temple up to 45 and the Notre Dame money line, Notre Dame outright. Or who else did you have outright there, Tay?
I can't remember. I think it was Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame outright.
USC.
USC,
yeah,
there we
USC.
go. That's the underdog line. USC outright, Notre Dame outright, Temple teased up to 45. Some juice in there, I don't know if you're feeling really, really spicy. Maybe some Boston College Monday night stuff that might be flying too close to the sun. That might be that one that trips you up, but 16 points over a challenging BC team with a mobile playmaking quarterback. Interesting. Speaking of interesting, we got the last divisional preview of the preseason coming up this week. The NFC West, that'll be coming up. Me and True, we did a big review of AEW All In this past weekend. We had a bunch of awesome guests jump on the pod. Real fun stuff. Check that out. Check out the Medium site. There's articles going up all the time. Tons of stuff for you to read if at your work desk, if you don't want your boss or your coworkers to overhear us motherfuckering it up. As you can see, articles, football, combat sports, the whole 9. NBA is just around the corner. The world of DAR never stops.